60, 60.
Yes.
So you started with, your idea was 4, you got pushed into 12, and then you had 60 orders.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
And so 16 was a huge year. We did a lot of learning as well still. 17 was still a big year. We, still built a lot of machines. And it was in 2017 that I realised that I could take this product further. And I had another one of those moments where I thought, those light bulb moments where I realised that I could make this machine better. I'd already tested this idea previously and failed with it, but I realised how I could do it later on. So that was when the new product started. It was 2017, and that's a product we'll launch, in August of this year.
Okay. Great new product. Before we started the program, we were having some really interesting conversations about how the machine has moved into the mining area now, or is beginning to be seen as something that can be used in more than just agriculture. How did that evolve?
Well, the thing is, we're processing the same rock in a lot of situations in agriculture as we are in mining. So a lot of people think of agriculture as nice red loam or, yellow sandplain or whatever it might be. But in truth, a lot of the landscape is actually the same rock or bedrock as what the miners are working in further north or east. And when we started building roads with the machines, because they were just so good at converting natural rock to a road-based material, that we went, well, why are we carting material in and, processing it somewhere else, carting it in, spreading it, when we can just do it in situ? Obviously you can't do it everywhere like that, but where the natural rock is. So that was how it started. And then other people saw it too and started making comments about, why don't you use this in mining? And early on, of course, I didn't feel confident that the machine itself was ready for mining. And that's when we thought, well, we need to produce a machine that will be suitable for mining. And that's where we're just coming to now.
Okay. Well, let's now talk about the family business side of things, the familyness of it. How did you invite your daughters into the business? How did that happen? Did you invite them, or did they just fall in there, or was there an expectation, or what was the picture behind it?
They were certainly invited, yes.
Okay.
Joanne came into the business, I think it's about 6 years ago, and she came in as an operator for the machine. So she had an agronomic background, and just ended up working for me, really. I said, can you come and help me? And when I was getting busier, and she did. And she'd had a little bit of experience already.
Agronomics, so what, she came out of university with an agricultural degree. She understood farming.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, and she came into the business.
Yep. So Jo's been with us ever since, and now she's not in the contracting anymore. She's in our Welshpool branch as our parts manager, because she understands the machine so well. Started off, in that operating them and watching me develop them and helping me develop them and being there through the process. Then she had a good understanding of the machine. So that's helped her in her position now as a parts. And, she does a lot of our marketing, and she's involved in the whole business. And then through 2016, the business grew so rapidly that Tonya was working 6.5 days a week, long hours, managing the financial side and the paperwork, and which, as we grew, just became exponential. And our middle daughter, Amy, who is an accountant and is working in the city, we invited her into the business and she jumped at it. So it surprised me because I thought, you know, why would she want to come to a little company? She was in the big end of town dealing with, big dollars and big companies. But she was keen to come, and it's been the best thing we could have done. And we've got someone in there that we know and love and we can trust to manage our finances as well. And we don't have to be looking over her shoulder all the time.
Okay. So, Amy, how many years ago did she come in?
It'd be 2.5, I reckon. Now.
Okay. Now, you've never worked together. You've worked with your wife most of your life, is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Your daughter Jo came in about 6 years ago. Amy's come in 2.5 years ago. Tell me some of the challenges you've faced with having family in the business.
Yeah, there's definitely some challenges. And at first, it's easy. At first, it seems like this is just a big happy family, it's going to work really well. But then the shine wears off and you realise that you become workmates rather than a family. And that is quite dangerous. And it can have some negative effects on your personal relationship. And particularly if you take work home.
Did you ever take work home?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you still take work home?
Very little, yeah.
Okay.
So, particularly for me, wearing the different hats was the hardest part. Getting used of being the managing director at work and the father at home. Now, we don't live with our daughters. Our daughters are grown up and living, elsewhere. But if you see them all week and then somebody's birthday and you go to dinner and you've seen them again, the shine comes off it. So you need to look at them in a completely different light. And that's probably been the biggest challenge for me, is to be able to say, now this is my daughter, not my work partner, not my co-worker, not my CFO. This is my daughter Amy or Joanne. And for me, that's been a tough challenge.
Okay. Do they have the same challenges? I mean, the girls, what about your wife?
Yeah,
well?
exactly. They do. And I think to some degree, Tonya and I had learnt to manage it better. But honestly, it's probably more dangerous in the relationship as a married couple. But we'd been doing it so long that, we'd obviously learnt to deal with it.
Okay. In thinking about having the girls in positions in the business has grown substantially. From a structural point of view, meetings-wise, do you have regular meetings or are they just casual passing in the office, or do you have to call something on a weekend because you can't, you might be, I'm assuming here that you would go out to site to see machines and sometimes not see anybody for a week? How does that?
Yeah, so obviously we still have our contracting business, which is separate to the Roxon company. And I go out to that quite regularly. I find that good. But in the family business in at Welshpool, we have a monthly family meeting. Monthly company meeting with the family, and that's just family. So that's purely the four of us. And that happens every month, come rain or hail. So, and that's an important part of getting us to communicate and let each person speak and know what they're thinking and how they're feeling. And it's about direction for the company as well, but it's also about letting each person express all their desires and wishes and all problems they're having.